Hello, everyone. Welcome to week number 7. Can you believe it? It's this week and next week, and we will be finished with this term. This is a big week for us, so let us get started. All right, so last week we learned about sexual reproduction and how it happens through the process called meiosis, which is a reduction in chromosome number so that you have the right number of chromosomes to make your organism. But the importance of it is that you produce many different varied offspring. And the purpose of this is the hope that some of these offspring will survive, and that helps lead to biodiversity. And it helps lead to the survival of species because you're hoping that some of your offspring will survive to reproduce and pass along your genes. We learned about heredity, Mendelian genetics, and what biodiversity is. So it was a great week last week. This week you're going to read chapters 44 and 46, which have to do with ecosystems, which are environments where organisms live and how the environments and the organisms interact with each other, and ecology, which is the study of ecosystems and all those organisms and their environment and how they live together. So this pertains to every single one of the final projects. So make sure you read the chapters because they will absolutely help you with your final projects. Read the Module 7 overview and watch the video. There's a video on Lake Erie and how they test it to make sure that they don't have algal blooms or runoff from fertilizers. But I'm also going to link this other YouTube video, which is a case of red tides in Florida that has happened recently. So I'm going to put this link in to the announcement so that you can watch it too, because it is crazy. The red tides took up so much of the coast of Florida this past year. And the red tides are one of these algal blooms produced by what? By too much runoff, too much phosphorus, too much nitrogen flows into the water. There are too many nutrients. And you think, well, that wouldn't be a bad thing. But the problem is that algae overgrow when there are these nutrients in the water, and that cuts off the oxygen supply to everything else that lives in the water. Plus, these algae make horrific toxins. They're algae and other protists. And they make horrific toxins which are deadly. So if you ever see a red tide, if you ever see one of these algal blooms, you stay away from it and you keep your pets away from it, because these toxins, you can just breathe some of them in and have neurological problems. So please be aware of this. The discussion board postings this week are optional. They're about eutrophication, and some of you are doing final projects on eutrophication, the phosphorus cycle, waste and energy and nutrient flow. Feel free to post in here. I will be watching and I will add to the discussion too. Especially the people who have eutrophication projects, you definitely want to get on here and say your 2 cents about eutrophication. And then finally this week you have your final project due. So this is the culmination of all those milestones that you've done already. You've done 3. They're all graded for you. They're sitting there waiting for you to put together into a cohesive presentation of slides with speaker notes. And you're going to put the whole thing together and turn this in as your final project. And this is a big grade. So don't slack on this one because it's worth a lot of points out of the semester. Just take a look. So this is very important. It has to be a polished presentation. So you have to put it in slide format. You can use PowerPoint or something else that's similar to that. And you need speaker notes because you're going to be adding extra information that you can't fit on a slide. Don't cram slides full of words. Make bullet points, put the rest of the information in your speaker notes right under the slide. This is easy to do. Make sure you go back through those milestones and read my comments and fix what you need to fix. That's terribly important because I'm going to look at these final presentations with fresh eyes. I'm not going to go back and look at all these milestones, and I'm just looking to make sure all the information is there. So be aware of that. Make your corrections, include imagery, include pictures, include graphics, include data. If you're doing a presentation on climate change and global warming, okay, there is lots of data out there. So put those graphs in your presentation because this gives substance to your presentation. It provides support for what it is that you're saying. So if you can find data, you need to use it. Okay? And don't forget imagery because, of course, that's powerful. And the biggest hint of all is to label every section. Look at that rubric. There are sections listed there in the rubric. That is how I'm going to grade this. So each one of those sections has to be a slide. Label the slide accordingly. Topic, who? Topic, where? Topic, how? Ethical perspectives. So label them exactly like the rubric so that there's no question when I'm grading about what you're trying to tell me about. Label, 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 label. I can't stress that enough. So please do that. If I have to guess, a lot of the time I can't guess because I'm not sure what it is you're presenting to me, what part of this. And it can't be all mixed up. If it is, I know that I can't find it. So make sure you go in order. Make sure you label everything. I am here for you. If you have any questions, if you want me to look at something ahead of time, please, 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 please email me. There's my email address right up there. My email address. So please ask me questions. I'm here for you. I'll answer right away. So ask me questions and I'll be glad to help you. Other than that, let us have a wonderful week. It's going to be a great week. We are almost finished. Next week will be easy. So let's get through this week. Awesome.